All right, guys, we're back again. Another podcast episode tonight. I got the Wolf on here. We got Elijah Pierce, 16-2, 14 knockouts, really aggressive fighter. Elijah, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Of course, of course. Why don't you let everybody know where you from?
Well, originally I was born, I was born in Midwest City, Oklahoma, and
Okay.
I moved to Gwinnett County, Georgia, when I was 5 years old.
Oh, all right, cool. All right. Were you an OK City fan? Like when they moved? I mean, obviously you were gone from there at that point, but were you an OK City fan?
Oh yeah, I mean I've been back and forth my whole life. I've been traveling back and forth from Oklahoma City to Georgia, yeah, ever since.
Oh
So
wow.
it's been something that's continued on.
Man, what a change of scenery. Cause like O OKC's like laid back, and like you go to Georgia. Georgia's great. And so it's one of my favorite states I ever visited for sure. Like what a difference.
Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely.
What age did you start boxing at?
I started when I started when I was about 5 or 6 years old as well. Like I said, with my father, it was just a bonding experience with my father, Andy Pierce. He's a coach and trainer out of Oklahoma City. Yeah, like I said, he's still one of my trainers today as well. But yeah, yeah, man, he just he's seen it as a bonding experience between father and son, and then I just naturally retained the information over time. Um, when I would spend my summers with him, and then it just ultimately evolved into what it is now. And now I became a pro fighter, and it's just I went through this whole little whirlwind of different experiences so far. So I'm just kind of eager for the next chapter.
That's really cool. I'm glad it was a really good bonding relationship because like like some parents like to live through their child if they weren't able to like play football, baseball, basketball. But that was cool that you guys were just able to like bond over a combat sport and all and also train because I know that he was also in the kickboxing. I saw in a previous interview I was watching that he's really in the mixed martial arts and all too. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. That was insane
kickboxing,
learning. Oh,
martial
cool.
arts.
Are you into the UFC at all, or are you just straight boxing?
I've trained. I've trained in kickboxing. I've trained in a little jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. A little bit with wrestling. Not too much, but like it's just something I just kind of play around with.
Yeah,
I've thought about getting in the cage before, but honestly, it's just a little brutal for my taste. I'm a
yeah,
little more. I like to be a little bit more on the finesse side as a more to
yeah.
the aggressive side. So I mean,
I
but
like
ET
it. Very cool too, because it's also good with conditioning and all too. Because I don't know if you know this, but this is a later question too, because I'm pretty sure you might be staying in the 122, but a really nice future possible champion prospect, Rais Salim is a black belt, and he takes that serious, all that combat sports and all too. So that's actually something you might have in common. Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about your amateurs. These were my favorite questions too. It's also a type of flex too. So what are some of your achievements, your record, and also when did you know you were ready to go pro?
I don't exactly remember my amateur record. I just know I had about 50 fights.
50, okay.
But yeah, man, but I did some good things in the short span of when I really went at it. Because I mean, obviously, like I went pro when I was, I mean, not pro. I started my amateur career obviously when I was 8, and then
Okay.
it was kind of on and off thing I did in the summers up until high school, and then you know I I didn't really start taking it seriously until my junior year of high school my junior high school, that's when I was like, okay, I'm a box for real. I'm gonna really try to do something with boxing. So, during that time, that's when I really started to finally place at tournaments. I started to, you know, at every tournament I started beginning to place, and then, I just kind of kept going from there. So, and a part of me wishes I would have stayed amateur a little bit longer, but ultimately I ended up having my daughter. So, I just kind of felt the need to turn professional, to take care of her and everything. But yeah, like I had just started hitting my ceiling really around the time I turned pro. And yeah, it was just really out of necessity for that. I just, I kind of got scared. Just wanted to make sure I could provide for my child. That was really just it. Um, and then, I always knew I could fight. As far as the competition, like I said, all these, a lot of the guys that are being accoladed as of now, who are champions and who are in very, high positions and whatnot. Like I said, I've been in the same ring with several of those guys, been on the same, you know, same proximity and everything else. So, it's never been fighting has never been like really like I'm trying to think of the best word to describe it. Mm,
There been like a job, maybe?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it just ultimately it hasn't been much. It wasn't much of a huge um like a huge ordeal to me as far
Yeah.
as with the around with those guys around those guys. Like I just they all just the same to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm just kind of hoping eventually I'll get the opportunity to face one of them or have an opportunity to build up to a fight with one of them, whatever, so I can knock their ass out and then solidify myself even faster. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I totally agree with that last statement that you made because like if for like people that don't really follow you, if they go on BoxRec and they look like you're fighting guys with legit records, have the experiences in the rounds, and you're making it look easy out there. Like you're not fighting guys that are like 1-9, 2-11. Like these dudes, like even your last fight, the dude had 40 fights and you took him out in the second round. Like come on. It's just you're just making it look easy out there. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I just want to just prove that I'm a top tier fighter and prove that I belong on that circuit with all these other guys. I
Yeah.
mean, that's is ultimately what it's about for me. Like I said, I demand my respect, and if I got to take it, then so be it. Put whoever you put in there. I really don't. It really doesn't matter to me. Ultimately, I know if I'm of sound mind and and I'm able to obviously have the allotted time to train and everything else and be at my best. There's nobody who's gonna be able to defeat Elijah Pierce. Like it's just, and that's just for the record, like stated here, like nobody will beat me at my best. It's just not gonna happen.
I like that. All right, now let's turn the years back a little bit. Let's talk about so my next two questions are my favorite ones to show that boxes are human. And also my first one is made your pro debut July 23rd, 2016 versus Deartree Tucker. First round knockout, which was incredible. It was an OKC, so it was like kind of like a homecoming for you for like the debut. Now, prior to that, maybe people didn't know about this, but your family and friends. But what were your nerves like prior to the fight? Were you nervous? I mean, like you did have 50 total amateur fights on and off, but what were your what was your vibes coming out? Were you nervous or was it everyday business?
No, I wasn't really nervous. I was just more so just kind of excited to step in the moment finally. It's always that moment where you kind of just finally be like, okay, well, it's here. I'm really a professional. Now it's time to really show what I can do and really show that that from now on I'm going to be a spectacle for everyone's entertainment. So um, that's why like I think I after I dropped him two in the first round, whatever. I think twice and no, No, did I finish? I think it was the first. Yeah, it was the first round stoppage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I said,
It
after I
looked like
dropped
it
in the
was
first
at
round.
249, like right before the round was your knockout. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, right when I dropped in the first time, I was just kind of like, I mean, my dad kept telling me to wait, because he wanted me to. Wanting me to like kind of entertain more the crowd a little more and kind
Yeah.
of drag out the fights a little more. But honestly, like I just don't be caring. Like I be ready to knock him out. So I just go ahead and get them out most of the time. I mean, we don't get paid overtime, so.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. That's so funny to hear that he wants you to do that, because like I don't think, like, once a boxer's in fight mode, I don't think you could tell him to step back a little, because you got that killer in you, so you just want to try to get him out of there.
Yeah, I mean, but I understand what he means, just
Yeah,
for entertainment value side of it. But it's just like you said, it's a fighter's nature. So
yeah, it's
when
tough.
you see blood, smell blood, you go hunting. So
Yeah, for sure. All right, now my next one I have, and this is the last one to show that boxers are human. So I asked this to everyone, doesn't matter who they are. I even asked this to top prospects and all too. So your first loss came in 2018 against Giovanni Cabrera. How did you handle your first loss? So obviously, you were killing it. I think your first five wins were five knockouts, if I wasn't mistaken. You're 8-0. So this is your first loss, and this was your ninth professional fight. How did you handle it? Like, did you take time off? Did you just take time away and just keep to yourself, or were you just right back in there in the gym?
oh yeah, at that time I was 8-0. I was 8-0, 7 knockouts. Yeah, I actually had an offer from Top Rank too at that time. They was offering to get me on the next card
Oh,
after that fight, and that was pretty much like a solidification for that fight. But basically, yeah, it was a good fight. He was a bigger guy, and I just think ultimately, like it was a lot of things that were underlying that kind of went on behind that fight. But ultimately, no excuses. The fighter I am now, put in that fight, I totally outclassed him in that fight, even though he was a lot bigger and stronger than me too at that time. But the fighter, it was one of those things where just an experienced fight too. On top of that, he had a lot more experience than me at that time. So you live and you learn.
yeah,
But yeah, man. I mean, I didn't take it well necessarily. I think everybody has that ultimate vision of themselves being like Floyd, undefeated and
yes,
amassing a certain type of career. So of course, when that happened, it was shattered for me. So I went through about a year long depression, and had to kind of figure out myself, figure out if I wanted to move forward, and everything, and I had my daughter, like I said, I had my daughter and everything
hmm,
else. So it was just, it was tough, but
yeah,
ultimately, I shook back, and I got back with my I had ended up leaving my father, and I had got with another trainer, and then when I
okay,
ended up getting that loss or whatever, I mean, but he was still a part of the team, but he just wasn't head trainer, and
right.
then I ended up getting back with him as head trainer, and then I ended up having my comeback fight, and then I had won that fight.
Ah,
Uh,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that, because I know it could be a tough subject, but again, like, I definitely want to show the viewers, and also, boxers do pop in it and look at these interviews. So I definitely want to show everyone that, people go through the same shit, that no matter if, even if they're not fighting, it could be personal stuff or jobs and all. But thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh yeah, I mean it was the same for the. I mean the second one, was no different. The second
Right.
loss, I had fought Sagawa. Um, we fought to a majority decision, and I had lost. And I probably, like I said, I had probably only trained for about, I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks, man, for that fight, just because I was so messed up
Mm,
mentally, and I was sick, like damn near the most of the duration of the camp. had the flu, and then I had got pink eye, and then I mean it was just all bad. And then on top of that, I'm going through a separation, you know,
Oh
from my
man.
ex-wife too, all at one time. So I mean, it just my head was just everywhere.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
ultimately, and that's like I said, boxing just one of them sports, man. You got to be whole, bro. You don't, you know that you can't play with your life in there. And I think that was the biggest lesson I learned from that fight was just that ultimately, you know, as much as we can try to be strong and try to think we can physically make it happen, if you're mentally not sound, you're not going to be sound in the ring. And
Mm-hmm.
that was ultimately the worst I ever felt in the square. And like I said, I still fought to a majority decision. So, you know, at the end of the day, I wear my little losses with pride. But at the end of the day, you know, it still don't matter because still people still don't want to fucking fight me. People still scared.
Yeah.
You know, I you know, it's not like I'm not a dangerous fighter and I'm not someone capable of being a top tier fighter. You know, at the end of the day, all I need is the opportunity. So I mean, that's really all I'm waiting on. I just kind of have to stay prepared until then, until they decide to give me the opportunity. And you know, that's just one of those things about the game that kind of sucks. You know, it's just like I can be better than a lot of these fighters that are being promoted. You know, I can beat most of these fighters' ass, and that's just the bare truth behind it. I can damn near knock out 75% of them, but you know, if they have undefeated records and they're being funded by a certain promotion and everything, and they're being billed as a next whatever, you know, of course it's gonna be they're not gonna put their fighter in a position to lose. And, you know, that's just one of those things that kind of just weird. Like instead of choosing the best, it's about choosing a product that you can create more so.
Mm-hmm.
So the industry of boxing has just changed so much from the competitive nature and respected sport that everybody loves so much. Not to say that it isn't that anymore.
Yeah.
It is, but you know, it's a business. It has adapted into more of a business, and there's a different way to run this business efficiently now. And you know, if you're not getting with the times and you're not adapting, you'll get your ass left in a quick. And nobody ain't gonna. And even then, you can even still win world titles and still be unknown, and nobody really know who you are.
Right.
So
And now it's honestly a crazy game. I mean, we're even seeing it here in Philly. You know, like Jerome Boots Ennis, man, he worked his ass off. He definitely deserves that IBF mandatory against Spence. Rumor has it, Spence is fighting Thurman or something like that instead, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, it's just the politics of the game. It's crazy.
yeah, man. I mean, they pretty much made it to where like I said, people can just have titles and they can kind of like ease their way to titles. Like they don't have to fight the best competition for those titles.
Yeah.
And I think like the worst thing that I hate the most is just the fact that the game itself, even from the fans and just the perspective of just the people in general. Like if you have a loss, you're written off. You
Right.
know, you're never good
Facts.
and fight. It don't matter if you lose to a quality fighter. You could lose to somebody just as good as you, or just as whatever. You know, so just somebody of high quality. Ain't no slouch or nothing, and they'll still call you, you know, a bum because you fought somebody else. Maybe because that person isn't known or
Right.
super or world champion or whatever, but I don't know, man. You know, so that's why at the end of the day, I don't have. You gotta have thick skin to be in the sport too. You just gotta be tough, and you gotta be able to just tune everything out and say, "Fuck it." Then you know, I'm gonna get what's mine, and ultimately, that's kind of somewhat of the perspective that I had to adapt. You know, with me becoming the wolf and everything, it's just like I'm hunting everything in my way. You know, anybody who is who is able to help me achieve a better position, better status, better record, you know, just whatever, anything that's gonna get me closer to the ultimate goal of being a world champion, then shit, then so be it. Like I'm ready for it all. You know, I don't know. It's it's kind of funny, man.
Yeah.
It's, shit.
I
I,
like it.
I'm just sitting there waiting, like with the time.
I know. That's funny. All right, so this year, man, you were at. I mean, like you. So like obviously like you lost a year because of fucking COVID. Like everyone wants to throw 2020 in the trash. But you were like a house on fire this whole entire year. You were 5-0, 4 knockouts. And I learned this term in the boxing gyms, and I fucking love it. It's called tomato cans. You certainly didn't fight no tomato can record wise because you fought an undefeated guy and you fought a couple fighters that only had one loss and they also had the rounds, and then you fought in your last fight the dude was 32-8. How would you rate your so like if we were like back in school, what a letter grade would you give your 2022?
Um, I mean, it was just a great year, man. Like I said, I'm just grateful ultimately that we're closer to the goal, and just much appreciation to my management. Ultimately, like I said, my manager Tryphon Petrov, and my manager Jesse Tanksley, who's also my stepfather.
Hmm.
Man, those guys, they and also my promoter Tony Jeter and Jeter Promotions. I mean, like I said, they working their asses off for me, and like I said, without them, man, I wouldn't be in the position I am ultimately now. My management, they really put in the work to help me, solidify myself back in a favorable position and spotlight again. So, you know, I'm just ultimately grateful for them. I'm grateful for my coaches, my Team Wolf. I got a great coaching staff, man. And I think you know that fighters more so need to credit their staff a little more often. Like I said, because ultimately they're helping you get to where you get to. And like I said, now me, I've always been a loyal guy, and so and I love the people who are closest to me. So my team, my father, Andy Pierce, like I said, Coach P, he do his thing, man. My trainer Aaron Salomon, great guy on the mitts. Like I said, he's been rocking with me since I've been in the amateurs,
Hmm.
and my coach Alain Philippe. He's a Cuban coach. He keeps me sharp on different areas. Good conditioning coach. Mitch. Like I said, so I got a good circling team of guys who are very adaptable and everything as well. So ultimately, man, and then I'm just fucking excited. I'm excited as hell for what's to come, dude.
That's
Also, thank
awesome.
to my mother as well. She my mother. She handles a lot of my affairs as well. And my daughter, she's the ultimate piece that keeps me together. Without her, truthfully, I wouldn't even be alive today, or I'd probably be lost in the sauce, man. Probably in a cell, in a prison cell somewhere, or dead. You know, and so ultimately, well, my daughter, she was my saving grace, and now I'm just on the hunt for success.
I
Just
love
like
it, man. Yeah, it looks like you got like a nice tight knit group, and like obviously boxing, you can have a lot of people that you can trust or maybe have your best interest, but they don't. But it looks like you got a real good circle. Also, that leads to my other question too. So, Tony is a guy that I truly enjoy. I met him 2021. Really great guy. We got a great relationship and all. What was it like to sign with Jetter Promotions? Also, shout out to his wife as well, Kristen. Really really nice lady. So what did you feel that made it the right decision to sign with Jetter Promotions?
just the intentiveness. Like I said, when I spoke to Tony, he was very adamant about like I said, billing me as a premier fighter who he was looking for someone to take to the next level. Someone who was able to take the big fights currently.
Hmm.
Someone who he wouldn't have to necessarily build up to be ready for the moment. Instead, someone who was already ready for the moment. So it just kind of put itself together. Like I said, since he was willing to, I guess, commit and invest in me, I was willing to reciprocate. So and that's just what it is with me. I'm a straight shooter, and and he's a straight shooter. So it was
Hmm.
just a respectable,
Yeah.
relationship. shit.
Yeah, he's great because like when he'll get you on the phone, you're it's a guaranteed half hour phone call because he'll either like to shoot the shit with you or he'll just see like how you're doing and all too. Yeah, he's really funny to talk to.
Yeah,
He's
real
awesome.
cool. It's real cool dude. Like I said, I like just straight shooters around me. People just honest, just genuine dudes, man.
Yes. All right. Let's see what else we got for you before we get into the fun ones. Okay. So where do you want to stay weight wise? Because like it seems like if like someone hands you a contract right now, you're like it don't matter, I'll sign it. Because like your weight, man, and you're always on point. You fought between 119 and 131, and you make that easy. Like you don't have to worry about trying to starve or anything. So like where do you feel comfortable, or where do you want to fight the rest of your career? Like what set weight division would you like?
I mean, ultimately, I just believe at 22, I just believe that's my quickest
122.
route. So
Okay.
that's a route to a world title. That's where my aim is. Like I said, by end of 2023, I'm hoping to contend for at least a title or a number one contender spot. If possible. But
Okay.
yeah, at 22, like just because, like I said, I just don't believe there's gonna be any. There's not many fighters that'll really be able to contend with me at that weight. And I've said it before, I said it again. I'm gonna dominate at that weight, and I just only time will tell. And I just look forward to continuing to prove my point. Like I said, I'm a man who means what he says. I say what I mean. I mean what I say. So
I
and
like that. Okay. I like that. I like that.
but
Okay.
as far as the
Um,
fluctuation, like I said, I can go from 20. I can beat ass 26, 30, whatever. I
yeah.
mean, honestly, if I really wanted to, I could probably even fight at 35. If I
Okay.
really like trained to fight at
Yeah.
35. But I mean, just naturally, I have a smaller frame, a lean like or I don't say small, a leaner frame. So when I'm just consistently going in a hard training camp, I just felt like 22. If I can make it, why not? I mean,
I like it. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So we'll see you in action at 122. Also, the new year is upon us. What are some of your goals boxing wise for 2023? Do you want to start maybe going into 10 rounders, or do you have a set amount of fights you would like to have before the year's over?
really just TV. That's it's time for TV.
Okay.
I've had about 5 opportunities that I was supposed to have fought on TV, and ultimately all of them ended up falling through based off different things, just personal. It just been kind of crazy. So ultimately, again, I think that maybe that's God, waiting and waiting for the right time for me, because at the same time, the first impression is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So once that spotlight hits, I want the world to really really see the best of me. And when that happens, everything that I've said up until this point, it will all be revealed. And then that should be the last thing I should have to say. As far as myself, speaking on myself.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. So I have a couple fun questions for you to jump into to wrap it up. My first one is, what's your favorite boxing movie all time?
Ooh, that's hard. Damn. Boxing movie, it'd probably be Gladiator.
Okay,
Probably.
I like that. Okay, yeah, one of the boxes I had before, I actually never seen it, but they were like telling me about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, because they had chose that, and they also liked the movie Undisputed with Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes when they had fought in jail. That was a badass movie.
Yeah, yeah. Undisputed. Yeah,
Gladiators on my list.
it'd
Okay.
probably be Gladiator with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, then who's your favorite boxer all time?
Mm. All time. Uh. Mm. if you okay, I have to break it down. If you're talking about just more so based off the person, like champion, when you say the word champion, and based off the quality of opposition they fought, who they were as a character wise, personality wise, everything else, it would be
Yeah.
Muhammad. It would be Ali, my court, Muhammad Ali. But if you just talking about just pure, just based off skill, fight style, whatever, it would probably be Floyd.
Floyd,
Probably,
okay. I like that.
yeah.
He's great.
And
Um,
some honorable mentions, definitely Sugar Ray Leonard,
yep.
Pernell Whitaker, and Emmanuel Augustus.
I like those. Okay, really good ones. I like that. All right. Other than boxing, like what's your favorite hobby?
Oh shit, man! Honestly, I'm a jack of trades.
I love
You know,
it. Okay, great.
I'm actually kind of starting to begin that next wave of my career too. Just kind of um like merging the all the entertainment stuff with the boxing, like the other stuff. But like I said, I rap, sing, dance, I tumble. Like I said, I do art.
I like
uh,
that. Okay, cool.
I do a lot of stuff. I just like to dibble and dabble. I'm trying to pick up the guitar. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Just different things.
I love that. Okay. Last fun question is, well, actually, I got another one after this. If we still have time, looks like we got like 3 minutes left, so I'll ask that one too. But what's your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, damn. Definitely wings. I love
Wings?
I love chicken wings.
Love it, love it. Same here. I love how the garlic parm.
Oh yeah. Or yeah, pasta too. I'm honestly like, yeah, I can eat. Managing that weight. So I had to get on point with that too, managing weight. Especially going to 22 since it's such,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to learn how to manage.
All right. I like it. All right, my last fun question. It might be a stumper, or maybe you thought of this since you have great hobbies and you seem like you got a great mind and all. If there was a movie made about Elijah Pierce, the boxer, and also his personal life, what actor currently right now would you want to play you?
I think honestly, probably Michael B. Jordan will probably be like I guess, I think
Okay.
that I probably ideal character for me, just because like I would my story kind of resembles like a Creedish type
Yeah.
of situation. And so just I think mine has a little bit more more drama and depth to the story. But I mean, yeah, it would probably be that though. Like I said, and then on top of it, I don't know why. I don't see no type of resemblance, but women have said I look like him before. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, I don't see it, but
All right. Well, listen, Elijah, thank you so much for joining. It was really nice to get to know you. I'm sure the fans are also going to love seeing this too. It was a really great interview. Rumor on the street looks like on Box Track you're going to be in there February 18th at Live Casino. I should be there in the building, so I will definitely be chatting with you post fight. So happy holidays and happy New Year to you and your family, and I really appreciate you joining.
oh man, I appreciate you, man. Like I said, make sure to everyone that wants to connect with me. My social media, Instagram is Elijah_Pierce. My Twitter is Wolfie WXXLFIE. And like I said, man, I'm just y'all stay tuned. I'm just waiting for my opportunity, and everyone will see, soon enough that I am who I say I am, and I want to just end it off with once again this quote that no matter the circumstances in the wilderness, a wolf will never eat grass. So I'm just waiting to eat. So I
I like
appreciate you,
that.
man. Salute.
Of course. Thank you and have a wonderful night. Thank you.
All right, man.
All righty.